Well, hello, children. What is happening, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. Oh, Dodger fans. Worry for Dodger fans. But it's okay. It's okay. I think it's going to be okay. Welcome to Film Junkee Live, everybody. Thank you for joining. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, thumbs up. We got plenty to talk about. Little DCU news. But, we got Sasha Calle talking about being in the Flash and everything, and some DCU news, not a lot, but then of course we have a pretty cool little Marvel Studios trailer that came out yesterday, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's coming out in the movies this weekend, and we'll look at those reviews. We've got that Here movie with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, which I'm going to go see tomorrow. Kind of curious to see what's going on with that. And then we got Quentin Tarantino. Joker 2. Going to be interesting. Anyways. How we doing out there, guys? Not too many out there in the chat. Chat it up, everybody. Let's do this. What's going on for Jason? We got Ninja Gamer 13. We got another home run. Holy crap. Was that Stanton? Jeez, the Yankees just came. They're here. The series is going back to LA, and I love it. Anyways, Ninja Gamer 13, Superman feelings. I'm so mixed, pumped for the casting, but nervous about crypto and the overstuffing. Disappointed we're getting off-brand Ultraman and a monster instead of Brainiac, but hopeful for its parasite. See, that's the thing. Let's not jump to the conclusions quite yet. That's the way you got to kind of look at it. Let's not jump to those conclusions quite yet. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you, Mr. Droga. We got Indiana Jake right here. I don't get why people are concerned about crypto. Yeah, I think it's because it's a little cartoony. That's all. I think it's like the cartoony aspect of it. That's all. I get why people are. How you doing, Ryan? We got Super Omnicron. Time for Film Junkee. That's right. We got Music Man right here as well. Good to see you. I want to hear what Quentin said about Joker 2. Oh, we're going to talk about it because he had some choice words. Spoiler alert, you're going to get some F-bombs. Yeah, I know. Shocking from Quentin Tarantino. F-bombs? What are we talking about here? But yeah, we're going to do that. And yes, it's Halloween Eve right now. And I'm not dressed up in my costume. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm not dressed up in my costume because, I showed you guys what my costume was. It was a little bit to put together, a little messy because it required blood coming out of my chest. So I was like, I thought about doing the costume again, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. You guys saw what I was. I was essentially a worker for the Weyland-Yutani Corp, and then I had an alien popping out of my chest. That's all it was, I showed you guys the picture on Monday. Good times, It was for, a Halloween party, mainly, so. Anyways, good to see you guys. Like I said, good to see you guys. As per usual, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and do all that. And, yeah, let's dive right into it, man. I mean, I love this. I'm rooting for the Dodgers. But I didn't want to sweep. And I want the Dodgers to win at home. Okay, I want the Dodgers to win at home. So... And I'm not ready for the baseball season to end. That's why I'm actually glad that the Yankees finally showed up. They finally showed up. You know what it took? You know what it took for the Yankees to finally show up? That stupid fan, those two stupid fans last night that took the ball away from Mookie Betts in the crowd when he caught the ball and he ripped it out of his glove. Did you guys see that? Yeah, if you guys didn't see that, there were some fans that literally when Mookie caught the ball, they grabbed his glove and ripped the ball out of his hands. Of course, they got banned from Yankee Stadium for the remainder of the World Series, which is good job, idiots. You guys did that, and you paid all this money for these tickets, and now you're not even going to be able to watch the game. But at the same time, I was like, man, that sparked things up when it came to the Yankees, it felt like. So... Anyways, as a baseball fan, I'm happy that it's not going to be a sweep, and we might be ending the night 3-2, going back to LA, Game 6 on Friday. And that's when I think, you know what? It's poetic. Okay. And Dodger fans, if Dodger fans are listening to this or are in the chat right now, think about this. Fernando Valenzuela, he just passed away. He passed away last week. Ultimate Dodger, 10 years with the Dodger, pitched, what, 40 years ago, 40 something years ago in the World Series. It's his birthday on Friday. So I'm thinking it's poetic. You can't even write this kind of stuff. Anyways, that's my little spiel right now when it comes to the World Series. Anyways, all right, let's talk about some movie stuff and other stuff and interesting stuff. And goddamn, can the election be over already? My God. But let's talk about this right here. So David Fincher, one of my top 10, maybe even top 5 favorite directors that is currently working right now. I mean, obviously, I have a poster of one of his movies on my wall. My favorite movie of his is Fight Club. I just love that movie. I'm one of those that just loves, but I love all his movies. All his movies are great. And we're kind of wondering, okay, after like what happened last year when it came to, what was the Hitman movie that he made last year with, what's his name? That was really good, that I actually thought was like one of the best movies of last year. The fact that we always wonder what David Fincher is going to be doing next. Killer. Thank you. I was like, Jesus Christ, couldn't remember the name right now, but I know it was based off of a graphic novel, which is pretty cool. You know, you gotta love that. So, but I remember watching that movie, really enjoying that movie. So it's like, what is up with David Fincher? What is he doing next? Well, he might be doing something that I don't think needs to be a thing, but I'll watch anything David Fincher, but here's what it might be, or it is going to be. I don't know. David Fincher might actually take on the American Squid Game. That's right. The American Squid Game. So we got Squid Game Season 2, and apparently a trailer is going to be showing up tomorrow or today, whenever you're watching this. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they continue the series, but I'm just kind of going like, the Korean series is fine, but at the same time, what do we always have to do over here as Americans, as silly fat Americans over here? We always gotta adapt things that work and do something. But at the same time, again, it's David Fincher. It's not just Netflix going like, hey, we're gonna just adapt it over here. No, I mean, it's somebody that's, you know, that's got a pretty good reputation, a really good director that actually wants to maybe take on the American series of Squid Game. It's going to be kind of interesting. It can't be exactly the same. There's got to be an edge to it. There's got to be something different to it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that ends up happening. But that's what was going around after, or yesterday, I should say. And then I still haven't watched part 1 of this season finale when it comes to this series, speaking of Netflix. But part 2, they have part 2 because there's going to be 3 parts to the season finale, which is, hey, whatever keeps people subscribed to Netflix. But of course, we got Cobra Kai. I'm going to watch part 1. Maybe I'll even try to watch it this weekend. I'm not doing anything. But, sorry. Okay. But we got a new poster for part 2. And yes, guys, it's very floaty, heady kind of poster, but it's kind of cool. The bottom part's kind of cool. I love how they actually have a cobra snake right down there. Kind of neat. But, yeah. So, there's the new poster for part 2 that's going to be showing up on November 15th. But, yeah, need to watch part 1, and I definitely will. Yeah, it's a little floaty, heady, but hey, you know. Whoa. But the poster is actually not that bad. It's not that bad. And then I think a lot of us were kind of wondering if this franchise was ever going to be reinvigorated, especially since the horror genre is just in full effect, and there's these horror movies that are all over the place. Scream is back. Everything, I mean, horror is just obviously just going crazy right now. And, well, guess what, guys? Another franchise is going to be reinvigorated that parodies that very horror franchise. or horror genre, I should say. There you go. We're back after nearly 20 years. The Wayans brothers are finally going to give the fans what they've been asking for, a return to scary movie franchise. We're looking forward to having fun on the big screen again. And then, of course, there's Marlon Wayans right there with the parody ghost face. I say good. I say good. I say good. Because there's plenty to parody, and the parody genre needs to come back. I've been begging for it, okay? We got Naked Gun. We got Naked Gun, a Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson that's coming out next year that's already been filmed, and I'm just kind of going, how is that going to be? Hopefully it's going to be good. Hopefully it's going to be good because I'm like, I love that. I love the Naked Gun movies. Obviously, rest in peace, Leslie Nielsen. But at the same time, I'm just kind of going like, hey, if anybody can help, Seth MacFarlane is helping produce the Naked Gun reboot. And then, of course, we get the Wayans brothers back doing the scary movie franchise. Hey, let's reinvigorate this parody franchise. Let's throw out all the PC bullshit and go for it. Go for it, guys. Go for it. That's what I say. That's what I say. Because I think they evolved the parody franchise when Scary Movie first came out. Most definitely. Pretty damn fantastic. And then, of course, the Zuckers who did the previous parody movies took over the Scary Movie franchise, and I thought they did a good job too. When they did Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5, it was fine. It was good. Is he doing it again? Oh, shit! Oh, wow. Holy crap. Sorry, guys. We have a brief break. Holy crap. This is what I'm talking about. World Series baseball, baby. Freddie Freeman on the Dodgers has been a fucking beast. He almost hit another home run. It didn't quite have the range, but Aaron Judge of the Yankees ran out to the warning track, leaped up. He's 6 foot like fucking, he's 6'14". He leaped up and caught the ball and hit landed hit the wall. Jesus Christ. That's just awesome stuff right there. You gotta love that. Anyway, sorry guys, a little brief. I had to look at that right there. I don't mean to be so distracted. I'm not distracted. Just the camera's right there, the TV's right there. I can multitask. I'm a drummer. I can drum, so I can multitask. That's what I'd always tell my girlfriends. Anyway, so what are we doing here? Okay, all right. And they get out of the inning? Not quite yet. Okay. All right, so I had to make a... So I talked about this. Again, guys, I talked about this because, one thing that I love about Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to talk about it, the For You portion, it's like, yeah, most of the time I'm looking at who I follow and getting my my entertainment and my news from who I follow. But I do like to stroll over to the For You section of Twitter. And one of the things that, is consistent when I'm going over there, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens over there, and I find some really cool shit, which I love. That's what I love about Twitter. I could just keep going. I'm like, oh, wow, what is this? Oh, I just found this cool thing and whatever the fuck. But I kept seeing this image right here because, and it has to do with the Snyderverse. It has to do with the Snyderverse. And I saw this little collage image right here a couple of times. And I saw a discourse when it came to it right here. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I want to post this because it has to do with a little certain something, a little controversial take or a controversial suggestion that, the loud part of the Snyder fandom does not like. And this is the, of course, image right here. Whoop. That's right. We got we got some drawings, of course, when it comes to Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Part 2 and Part 3. And our very own Axel Droga, actually, his art is, of course, shown up in here, which I didn't know when I first posted it. I did not know it was his art. And, would love to always give credit to whoever makes the art. And Axel was one of them that made the art right there. So, posted this right here that actually shows, of course, Darkseid and the very scene of Lois getting zapped by an Omega beam. And yeah, that dramatic scene right there. So, naturally, guys, I post that, and my tweet said, been seeing this image around the feed lately. I'm not saying anything. ... Emoji, emoji, emoji. So naturally I did that because anytime that I bring up the fact that, oh, wow, what if they end up doing the sequels or anything like that in animation form, there's always that loud side of the Snyder fandom that just, they don't like that. They don't like that. And naturally, it took a little bit. It always takes like the next day. When I posted it in the evening, for some reason it feels like it just takes like till the next day, and all of a sudden it makes the rounds in there. And then of course I did, because it's been a little bit since I, stirred that pot a little bit, and I always just like to ask questions. I'm not trying to just scream at people. I like to ask questions. Yeah, I'm a little snarky. I come off as sarcastic. That's just who I am. Sorry, that's just who I am. I'm a little sarcastic. Okay? I'm very sarcastic, especially on Twitter, because I don't take things that seriously, okay? And I realize that even suggesting the fact that Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 could be animation, I know it's wrong of me, and it goes against everything, I guess, that we tried to accomplish in the past few years when it came to getting the Snyder cut out, even though Zack Snyder himself is very much open to animation. He has said it in an interview. He has said it on the Vodka stream. He's very much open to different mediums when it comes to continuing the story that he very so much had. And he supported, and I think he even like boosted and supported the whole Project Justice League when it took like the very storyboards that he created that he was a part of, and he even said like, hey, if we don't get a sequel, that's the closest you're going to get right there. So very much supports all the arts, because that's who Zack Snyder is. He doesn't just support one specific thing. So naturally, I just kind of go like, when I get into these back and forths with like some of these really diehard fans, like for instance, let me just view some quote tweets. And the number one quote tweet that I'm actually seeing right here is, you don't have to say anything because we don't want it. We want what was intended. We. Oh. And I remember I responded with like one of those culty like gifs, because I'm just going like, you said we a couple of times. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking? We. And that's just kind of like, it's just kind of funny when you get those responses. It's not the first time I've gotten those responses where it's just like, we don't want this, we this. And I'm like, holy crap. I am trying desperately not to call you guys, the C word, which is, cult. I'm not trying to say that, but when you say we, I just kind of go like, okay, are you speaking for everyone? Who are you speaking for when you say we? Okay, that's plural. I mean, I can understand speaking for yourself, perfectly fine, but when you say we, and again, not the first time I get responses like this. When you say we, I'm just going, holy crap. Is there actually like, did you guys just all get together and you're saying we because there is a whole, anyways, I don't know. So you have stuff like that. And then of course, and then let me read the second quote tweet right here from somebody who I had an interaction with. I see a lot of true DC fans saying that this is just as good as live action, so I propose WB cancel any live action DCU project that's not in the can and make it in this style. Then use the money they save on making Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. Now, I'm pretty sure that this person is not being serious. Probably not. But at the same time, it's hard to tell. Because as I was going back and forth and just kind of like asking questions yet again, I just go, what is the goal here? What exactly is the goal here? And I haven't asked that actual question, but I just think, I'm like, what is actually the goal for, when you're still using Restore the Snyderverse or even the Cell, which some of these people don't do that, and because I think they realize how fucking stupid the Cell Snyderverse to Netflix is now, especially since we don't even know the relationship that is happening between Zack and Netflix currently, because we just haven't heard a lot of things. I mean, I know there's the Army of the Dead thing happening in Vegas for Halloween, but at the same time, we heard about Las Vegas being scrapped. Jay Oliva said that, and then we haven't gotten a green light when it comes to anything more Rebel Moon or even Planet of the Dead. So we don't even know the relationship when it comes to that. So I think most of these people, they don't, even though it might be in their bio or something like that, but that's the thing. That's one of the things, like when I was seeing people push back against this, of course, when they say, live action or nothing at all, no animation. And I'm just kind of going like, okay, I get what you're saying, and you're passionate, sure. But at the same time, you want a studio, which is Warner Brothers, and then we got DC Studios, which is run by James Gunn and Peter Safran. You want them to restore the Snyderverse, to do like an Elseworlds thing or sell it to another company. But yet, day in, day out, all you do is talk shit on everything that they are putting out there. Like, you hate James Gunn, you hate Warner Brothers, you have it in your bio to boycott them, you do all this, but you expect them to give you what you want. Like, I don't understand that aspect of it. I'm having very much difficulties understanding that part. Because if you want them to give you what you actually want, why are you constantly, every day it seems, are you just talking all kinds of shit and shitting on what's going on right now? Like, I'm just kind of going like, what's the mindset right there? Because that just, to me, I'm just kind of going like, that just doesn't seem like a strategy to take if you want to get something. And I'm just like, I mean, I didn't even say anything about the animation thing. The animation thing probably won't even happen either. It's probably going to end up being a fucking comic book when we see what's going to be happening, the rest of the Snyderverse, the stories. It's probably going to end up in a book somewhere, which is fine. Zack is open for a book or animation, which is kind of funny too. Aaron Judge has hit another home run. Oh, no, he didn't. He fell short. Anyways, sorry. I thought he did. I thought he got a hold of that one. So I'm just kind of going like, okay, so what exactly, like, and I'm just kind of going like, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking that these diehard fans and whatever they just want to just post this stuff, and they don't even think that there actually is that like it's actually going to happen. They're just going to constantly just be because I'm just thinking that it's a bad strategy to get what you want. A bad strategy is to shit on everything that studio that owns that property, to shit on everything that they're doing. It's a bad strategy. So I don't think that they actually want it to happen. They just want to come on Twitter and just bitch and moan at a bunch of things. I think that's what it is, right? Probably is. I don't know. It just seems a little interesting. And like I said, I was trying to ask questions and just doing things, and obviously and one of the things that obviously always comes about is the whole don't compromise, not compromise. And I've actually asked this question to some of these guys. I'm like, all right, not all the cast members are going to come back. They're not going to all come back. So if they have to recast in live action, guess what has to happen? A compromise. A compromise has to happen. Now, okay, that's not different from, what he has to do to accomplish getting the movies out, I guess you could say. But it's still a compromise. And I'm like, okay, but maybe it's not the compromise that we're all kind of thinking about, He'll still be able to make his live action, which kind of shows you these people don't even give a shit about the actors. Some of the actors they don't give a shit about, for sure. And then I'm like, okay. But then I just start going like, when is this going to happen? And then I'm like, do you guys realize that production for Zack Snyder Justice League started in 2016? I mean, we're going to be coming up on like 8 years ago, okay? And it's going to be 9 years ago. And then it's like, okay, again, it's like, what are we doing here? Luckily, though, I've had, some responses where it's like when I've actually said that, okay, so if Zack were to come back and people were to come back and they would do an actual sequel to Snyderverse stuff, they agree that, yeah, it probably wouldn't be the same story. It's not going to be the story that was set in motion for the first Justice League. And I'm like, all right, at least we can agree on that. It's not going to be that story. So we actually did find, something there. But it is just kind of funny when you just start doing this kind of thing. And I'm just like kind of going like, what is the goal here? Besides just like attacking people who are excited for the DCU. I mean, for God's sakes, Andy. You guys know Andy, who shows up on the Vodka stream. He posted that he got new Superman merch from the Superman movie. And I'm looking at these people that were actually in my mentions that were shitting on, of course, all this, that are going after him and talking shit about the merchandise that he received. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, what are you doing? You guys want them to restore the Snyderverse, but I think it's just a battle cry, and you don't think it's actually going to fucking happen. And you guys just want to be the bullies now, okay? Maybe you were bullied when you were younger, or you're still bullied into your adult. I don't know what's going on in the mindset of some of these guys. And then the fact that it's like, oh yeah, it's our turn now. It's our turn now. We were bullied back in 2016, 2017, and now it's our turn to be the bullies. I think that's what the mindset kind of is. Like, it's our turn now to be the bullies. Because Andy, I saw like he posted that merchandise, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing these assholes that, of course, were in my mentions when it came to the whole animation thing and it's been in there. They were freaking doing all that shit and quote tweeting him and blowing up and dogpiling on him. And it's like, he was just excited to get Superman merch. And you guys decided to be the assholes. And you guys have Zack Snyder in your bio or possibly even your profile pictures. Yeah, you are just totally making him look good. Good job. Good job, everybody. Or at least those guys. Good job. Freaking so stupid. These guys, I mean, they live sad lives. Simple as that. It's kind of sad because that one of the tweets that I actually, retweeted or that was a quote tweeted was somebody who's trying to be an actress. She's trying to be an actress. I'm like, do you really want to be associated with this right here? Whew. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to be associated with that. It's kind of crazy. Somebody called called me Dave the Crack Junkee. Yeah. Oh, then there's one person who, of course, was that posted that clip of that one dude who was hoping that I was going to attack him in the bathroom so he can actually fight me in the bathroom at the Rebel Moon premiere. Remember that whole thing? Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with these people, to be honest. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't get it. But hey, what can you do? But I just wanted to go off on a little bit of a rant right there. Good work when it comes to Axel, drawing up some of that stuff. So good on him. Good on him. Good on him. All right. They think that they're all assholes. I don't. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Doesn't surprise me. I want the DCU to be good and succeed. Yeah, so do I. I want it to be good. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, actors will do anything for money, Dave. They can definitely come back. They're not going to come back. Not all of them are going to come back. Okay? They're not going to be there. Okay, it's like, yeah, sorry, the Black Red, they're not all going to come back. That's the thing. That's my main thing was like, they're not all going to come back. Ezra has been ousted. Ezra doesn't have, you look at his IMDb, he's not coming back anytime soon. You think they're going to have him back? Okay. Cavill might not come back because he's probably done with being Superman, being fucked around. Godot is probably not going to come back. I mean, there's the thing. I already went over this. Okay. They would have to be offering a substantial amount of money. And that's the thing. It's like, DC and Warner Brothers, they ain't gonna fucking do that because they're focusing on the new thing. And that's the thing. So I'm just kind of going like, all right, the new thing has to tragically fail. So we're not going to get what? So pre-production for Zack Snyder Justice League Part 2 is going to what? Happen in 2026, 2027? So like what, 3 years from now? I don't know. Is it going to happen 3 years from now? And then of course it has to go, and then it's not going to come out till 2029, 2030? the original movie was supposed to come out in 2017. It's like, so it's going to be a completely different movie. It's going to be completely different something else. And they're not going to want to do that. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's just so crazy. Like, how long is this going to go? How long is this going to go? But anyways, let's move on. I've been talking too much about that. Too much about that. You know, some of them are crazy. And, you know, if they want to come after me again and start talking shit again, by all means, go right ahead, folks. Go right ahead. But we got the Tomb Raider series that's going to be coming out on Amazon, and we're looking for our new Lara Croft, even though Lara Croft, I should say it right. But I just totally wish that Alicia Vikander would come back and do another Lara Croft, because I thought that Tomb Raider movie was great, but apparently it just didn't make enough for them to warrant another sequel with her. So now they're going to be doing an Amazon series, and apparently we got 2 actresses that are on the short list for Lara Croft, say it right. Sophie Turner and Lucy Boynton have been testing. They were testing. And I'm just kind of going like, well, Lara Croft, she spends a lot of time in the sun. I don't know. These two, I don't know if they actually like the sun. Sorry. I don't mean to make fun of like the gingery like skin or whatnot, but yeah. Seems like they would burn pretty much out there in the sun. But if I had to choose, I would choose Sophie Turner. Why not? You know, mainly because I don't really know anything else Lucy was in, but who knows? To be honest, I'm like, whatever. When it comes to Lara Croft and Tomb Raider and that series, yeah, series is a way to go, but who knows? But I'm just kind of going like, really, those two? I don't know. I'm just kind of going like, isn't she out like in the doing all that? She's going to need a lot of sunscreen and everything. So how about the actress from Andor? Well, the thing is like, to me, it's, you know, if we're going to be going, hey, Lara Croft needs to be authentic, and she's what, British? Isn't she British, right? So, I mean, these 2 actresses are British, right? They have the accent, natural accent. So that's why when somebody mentions an American actress, I'm like, no, let's keep it. Why not? But then at the same time, British actors are always taking American roles, so maybe we could just do the vice versa thing. I don't know. But at the same time, sometimes you just like, oh, they don't do good accents or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, what do we got here? What else? Hey, we got Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves, of course, is playing Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Jeff Fowler right here decided to be like, hey, Keanu Reeves? Yeah, Keanu Reeves is the man, because he didn't just come in and just read his lines, you know, and just collect a paycheck. No. Keanu Reeves did a lot of research on Shadow before voicing him. Quote, he really wanted to create a very fan, sort of faithful version of the character. He did research. And there you go. That's why we love Keanu Reeves, because he takes this shit seriously. Gotta love that. Absolutely love that. All right. And what else we got? Just stuff that, that's pretty much it. So I think that's pretty much it right there when it comes to the tweets. All right, let's dive into some DC news right here. All right, let's see. What's the first thing we're going to be talking about right here? Before we get into Sasha, let's talk about some certain things. Metamorpho. Metamorpho, of course, is going to be showing up in Superman, which is a very obscure character when it comes to the DC universe. I mean, a lot of people are just like, who the hell is that? I think I heard the name before, but I had no idea exactly what his powers were and stuff like that. You know, it's just like one of those things where I just kind of go like, what? And you got Anthony Kerrigan, I think, right? Who is playing Metamorpho, and we haven't seen him. We didn't see him in any of the set photos or anything, but we saw somebody who was wearing a mocap PJs, the mocap PJs. And I think a lot of people assumed, oh yeah, maybe that's who Metamorpho is, because, you know, with his powers and everything like that, it's going to require CGI. But apparently, and I'm just kind of going, Jimmy Guns, really? Really? Hi, James. Is Metamorpho CGI or a practical costume? Practical. Okay. But is he talking about the costume itself? And everything else is CGI? Is that what are you trying to pull something, Jimmy Guns? Are you trying to tell us that the whole thing is practical? Something tells me it's not. Is it full-on makeup? Full-on makeup and prosthetics for Anthony? Or is it just the costume is real and everything else, he's got fucking mocap dots on his face? Something tells me that it's that. There's going to be a little bit of practical, little bit of CGI. That's what I'm kind of thinking it is. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to be like a little bit of both. It's got to be both. Costume real, but I think there's got to be something. It just, to me, I'm like going, no, it's not. There's going to be some mocap stuff. There's got to be some CGI. Definitely got to be some CGI. And then moving over to the Lantern series, we got somebody who is officially cast, who was rumored to be cast. And this rumor is correct. This scoop was correct, sadly. I hate it when some of these scoopers get the, they get to get praise because they did call this right here. But we got Kelly Macdonald. Kelly Macdonald is going to be joining the cast of the Lantern series. And if you don't know who she is, she's not a very known actress, but she's been around for a bit. She was in No Country for Old Men, which is kind of funny because so is Josh Brolin, and he was up for Hal Jordan at one point. But yes, she's been in numerous things. McDonald's best known for her roles as Joe Davidson in the BBC series Line of Duty, Black Mirror. She's been in an episode of Black Mirror, Boardwalk Empire, and then, of course, voiced Merida in Disney's Pixar Brave. So she's been around, but yeah, she was in No Country for Old Men. But she's playing Officer Carey. Officer Carey she is playing, which is kind of interesting because a lot of people are kind of going, okay, so she's just like a sheriff. She's a sheriff in the town that they're going to be solving this mystery. Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are going to be solving an Earth-based mystery in this series, and she's going to be the head sheriff. Something tells me that her and Hal have... Anyways. But then everybody's kind of going like, is she really Carol? Is she really Carol? Carrie Carol? I mean, who knows? Who knows? But she's playing Officer Carey. That's what's reported right here. So, yeah. So there you go. And then, of course, there was even more to it, too. Like, somebody actually that was in a Zack Snyder movie also being added to it. And this is from DC Film News right here. And also Nexus Point News. Garrett Dillahunt, which he was in, of course, Army of the Dead. And Paruna Jagannathan have been offered roles of Dylan and Zoe in the HBO drama series Lanterns. So these two have also been offered roles. And it sounds to me like they probably are going to be taking those roles. Who knows? So that's your Lanterns news right there. I mean, we got a little bit of, where's it at? It's not working. Anyways, a little bit of an exclusivo. Yeah. Oh, wait. That's why. Exclusivo! Been a while since I pulled out an exclusivo, man. But that was an exclusive for Nexus Point News right there that they got offered roles. So I don't know. I don't know who Zoe and Dylan is, but hey, they are somebody. So there is that. So there's your basic DCU news right there when it comes to this. So Jessica Cruz for a second. I know. I'm like kind of going. I mean, that's kind of funny. You look at her and go like, she could be a Jessica Cruz type. Whoa, buddy. Are the Yankees kind of falling apart right now when it comes to defense? Ooh, they are kind of falling apart right now. This is a rough inning for the Yankees right now. Dodgers just scored 5-1. Oh, boy. Anyways, so we got Sasha Calle right here, who, of course, is talking about, new projects and everything like that, but, of course, is talking about the Flash, Supergirl, the fact that she had a multi-picture deal, which, yeah, at the time totally made sense. But, we got a new Hollywood Reporter article right here that talks about how it was very heartbreaking. And here, of course, is the article. Sasha Calle talks in the summers and gets candid about the Flash. It was very heartbreaking. That was a rough experience. Oy, 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 oy. So, of course. So, Calle had to sidestep questions about Miller, often pivoting to how much she genuinely revered her stunt team while also expressing optimism at the future, even if she could sense that the writing was on the wall. If that wasn't enough to shoulder, she lost her voice in the midst of it all. It was very hard, I have to say. I had bittersweet feelings as I was maneuvering everything. I was very excited, but there were a lot of unanswered questions for me, so it was very bittersweet. There were still plenty of silver linings that emerged, namely a close friendship, of course, when it came to Leslie Grace and doing that whole thing, and then she got screwed over when it came to Batgirl. I don't know what I would have done without Leslie, to be honest with you. I feel like she got it even worse, and yet she was just this divine light of love and warmth. And even though it came from a really confusing and painful situation, we got to have this beautiful friendship that is true and honest and sincere and kind. We were there for each other, and I'm really happy that we had each other then. And that's good. I'm glad that happened. Prior to the Flash's release, Grace, of course, talked about all that. And then, of course, they talk about her movie. And then, finally, her quote right here. I was just so honored to work, even though I was exhausted, especially with Alexandria, who's, she talks about that. DC Studios, blah, blah, blah. I got together with my lawyer recently, and I'm just going to read you her quote. Don't complain how full your plate is when all you ever wanted was to eat. Oh boy, the Dodgers are coming back. You just have to remind yourself that you dreamed of moments like that when you were little. Now that DC Studios has gone another direction for the future of Supergirl, Calle admits that there's some frustration since she originally shot an ending of The Flash that was supposed to pave the way for future adventures as part of a multi-film contract. But between the praise she's received from critics and audiences, as well as new roles like her current that's alongside Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in Joe Carnahan's R.I.P., she's proud that she made the most of her moment, no matter how fleeting it was. It was very heartbreaking for me, and it was very confusing. Ultimately, I know that I did my best. It's been said that a queer Latina girl like me couldn't be Supergirl, but I was, and no one can take that away from me. That is the most important thing for me. I did something that mattered, and whether you saw yourself represented in me or not, a lot of people really connected with her and loved her. Optimism. So at least she's looking at it like that, Some people don't look at it like that, and that's fine. But at least she looks at it like that. Yeah, she got screwed over. And sadly, the reason why she got screwed over is because of, the way that things were handled, Mr. Hamada and everything like that. And then, of course, they tasked James Gunn to be like, you just got to fucking basically reboot as much as you can and as much as you want. And, to be honest, I liked her Supergirl. Did I see her actually doing which I always have on hand, doing this right here? Maybe, but not necessarily. I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth when it comes to the whole Supergirl thing and the fact that her actually handling her own Supergirl movie. I don't know. But then at the same time, the whole idea at the time was like, oh yeah, there's going to be, instead of just having Superman and Batman, there's going to be Supergirl and Batgirl, which is kind of funny because if you guys see which episode of DC Fanimated that happens that we talk about tonight, kind of just talks about that very notion about them teaming together. So, Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff, but yeah. Anyways. Holy shit! The Dodgers just tied it. It is 5-5 right now. Wow. So the Dodgers came back right now. Holy Lord. Teoscar Hernandez just almost hit a home run. This all started because Mike Judge, who actually hit a home run tonight, fucked up, didn't catch a ball that was supposed to be easily caught. So even though that Mike Judge tonight hit a home run, came out of his slump, he fucked up defensively. So Mike Judge is still having a very difficult World Series. But the Dodgers just tied it right now. Holy shit, man. But anyway, so to wrap up, Sasha Calle, she got an opportunity. It was a great opportunity. But sadly, the movie, when it comes to The Flash, I enjoy The Flash, but I could see why people didn't enjoy it. And it ended up being a controversial movie last year. And then, of course, all the Ezra stuff. There's a lot of things that just weren't working. And then where the DCEU was at the moment of when the movie started being made, it just was all screwy and everything like that. And, I know people are going to be like, fuck James Gunn. He fired her too. Just like they, fired Henry Cavill. They're going to say that. But, I mean, she actually had a contract. Henry Cavill didn't. So that's why I'm always like, no, there wasn't fired. I mean, to be honest, I just full on always just blame WB and the regimes. And, after the Snyder Cut came out, it just seemed like they didn't know what the hell they really wanted to do when it came to a lot of things. So, anyways. Yeah, I'm one of those where it's just like, you know what? Yeah. James was like, we're not doing this, we're doing that. He was tasked to do a job, and I'm just kind of going like, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to blame Jimmy Guns, like crazy, that's fine. But again, are you one of those that are wanting the restoration of the Snyderverse? Because, anyways, let's not go down that whole thing again. Anyways. All right. Now let's move over to Marvel Studios. Let's go to Marvel Studios right now. And Marvel Studios, well, they had a new trailer. Marvel Studios had a new trailer that came out. And it kind of leaked out at first. It was kind of interesting because it was like, holy shit. Oh, wow. They just like kind of leaked out a trailer that's going to be showing the projects that are essentially going to be coming to Disney Plus. And there's like a whole, I mean, when Bob Iger said that they were going to like relax, they were going to relax a little bit. They were going to relax on, they're going to do like quality over quantity. Well, I don't know if this is exactly it, but let's go through this trailer right here. So it starts off, of course, with Deadpool.
I brought you here to offer you an opportunity.
Well, buddy. Look at all that. What?
It's been some time, hasn't it? You've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
I wonder if your darker half would agree.
Oh,
exactly
buddy.
What kind of a lawyer are you?
A really good one.
Miss me!
Oh!
I want to build something undeniable.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
Up for an adventure?
The battle they will sing about for ages.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
What?
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man. I was born to play this character.
And we both have a lot riding on this.
You better not mess this up. I know.
I am ready.
I am Marvel Jesus. We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
Oh my God!
go, buddy. There's a lot to unpack right there. All right. First off, I mean, who's more? I mean, it's hard not to be so hyped for freaking Daredevil. I mean, come on. But you know, they did a good job of like, okay, we got all these other people. I forgot that what's his name, young Han Solo right here is going to be an Ironheart. So you know, there's the painting. That painting was in the original Daredevil series, so that's kind of cool. But I think like the footage of Daredevil right here is just like, oh, buddy. I mean, it looks like they're you know, we got Mayor, of course, Fisk right there. We got Frank Castle. We got the Punisher. We got them meeting together, which is like, oh boy. We got everybody back. Everybody. I mean, everything about Daredevil Born Again just looks absolutely pretty fantastic. Cannot wait, and that's going to be out in March. So I think like when it comes to that, and then you got the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now I saw a lot of people mixed about the animation. The animation, yeah, doesn't look all that great. Animation doesn't look all that great. And am I wrong here? Guys? Am I wrong here when I say that when you have Spider-Man fighting this bully, whoever this is? Let's put the sound on.
Miss me.
Did we just witness Spider-Man murdering that guy? Huh? I mean, he swung a brick to his head, and did you hear it? The brick shattered. That guy has some serious fucking head trauma. My God. Dead. He's fucking dead. Holy crap. Now I get it, guys. It's an animated show. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. I know. I'm joking, but it's just kind of like, that was the first thing I thought about when I saw that footage. I was like, Jesus Christ, he just killed that guy. He just killed him. But it looks fun. Spider-Man killing people. Why not? And then you got Ironheart. Ironheart, I really don't care. But I will say that the Ironheart costume right there, nice upgrade. I will say that. This is a nice upgrade from what we saw in Wakanda Forever. But I thought Ironheart in Wakanda Forever was just kind of just tacked on, and I didn't really care for the character, and still don't really care for the character or the series. That's kind of cool. Punching that. Right, cool. You got the baddie that's also in that, and then of course you got What If, season 3 now. What's funny about What If though is, well, then of course you have Marvel Zombies and more animation. Who's that? Who's that, guys? Who do we have right here in Marvel Zombies? Who's this gentleman right here, who apparently is acting as Moon Knight? But if you look closely and he's like, oh, he's got a sword. That's a black character. Who is that? It's our first look at Blade. Mahershala Ali, Blade, in animated form. That's right. Announced in 2019. God knows when his movie is actually going to be coming out. But that is Mahershala Ali's supposed Blade right there. Nobody knows if he's actually voicing him. But that is him. That is Blade right there. Who apparently is like a combination of of what's his name? Jesus Christ. Totally just Moon Knight. I was like Midnighter? No, Moon Knight. So we got all the zombie stuff, which is cool. That'll be fun. And then I don't even know what the fuck. I have zero knowledge of Wonder Man. Don't know anything about the character. Don't know this. Don't know that. But it seems like they're taking the approach of. I like Yahya. What's his name? I like him, but I have no idea about the character. And then you got, of course, Ben Kingsley, who's also an actor who's shown up, of course, in Iron Man 3, and Shang-Chi has shown back up again to reprise his role as this actor guy. So it's just kind of like, okay, so this is going to be a very meta, weird take on the character. It looks stupid. Looks very, very stupid, but hey, whatever, that's fine. And then you got Eyes of Wakanda, which looks pretty cool. Another animated anthology movie that takes place, and you see the different warriors in Wakanda. This sounds really cool, and I'm interested in watching this. And then, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be showing up on November 12th. You can watch it on Disney+. So if you didn't catch it in theaters or you can't wait to watch it again, there you go. Look at that. Oh, man, look at that shot right there. Look at that shot right there. Come on! You got the Punisher right there. Taking on some dudes. That looks really freaking cool. And then, of course, Daredevil comes in, and then he starts kicking ass. So, and then, of course, you got a lot of 2025 stuff. But what's crazy, guys, again, you know what's crazy is just the fact that it's like Bob Iger said, oh, yeah, we're going to tone it down a little bit. We're going to tone it down a little bit. You know, quality over quantity. The fuck is this? I mean, Jesus Christ. That seems a lot of quantity right there. Quantity up the ass. What are we talking about here? Yeah, okay, you're going to tone it down a little bit? No, doesn't seem like you're going to be toning it down a little bit. You got Spider-Man that's going to be coming out in January. February, you got Captain America, Brave New World. Daredevil in March. Thunderbolts in May. Fantastic Four in July. Then you got Eyes of Wakanda, August. Ironheart in September. Marvel Zombies in October. And then Wonder Man is not coming out until until December. Jesus Christ, that's just a lot. That's a lot right there. It's a lot, but hey. Yeah, doesn't seem like they're toning it down all that much. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. I have interest in pretty much all of them. I think Ironheart's my least. No, I think Wonder Man's my least interest. To me, that's the least interested one that I'm actually into. I'm like, Wonder Man, I don't even know. Ironheart, I don't really care either. Daredevil is my most anticipated of next year. And then maybe after that is Fantastic Four. And then maybe Marvel Zombies. Then Spider-Man. Then Thunderbolts. Then Captain... Well, no, Eyes of Wakanda is probably before Spider-Man. I don't know. I could do a whole ranking. But there you go, guys. That's what's happening when it comes to Marvel Studios and their whole new thing right there. We'll see if it works out for them. Still tied right now. The Yankees are up. Not doing anything. Man, the Dodgers deserve to win this game tonight. I will say that. If they end up winning the game, I think they deserve it. All right, what are we seeing this weekend? What are we checking out this weekend? What are we checking out? We have let's see. What do we got going on this weekend? I don't even know what's coming out. What's coming out this weekend? See, that's the thing. It's like, you know, we've had our big movies that came out. I know we have that Here movie with Tom Hanks and Robert. Well, Robert Zemeckis is directing it. And then, of course, Robin Wright is also starring. So it's like a Forrest Gump type of like reunion. Sorry, I'm just pulling up and seeing what's... Yeah, that's really like the only one that I know of that's really just like coming out wide release as possible. I mean, of course, you can watch John Wick again because they got the 10th anniversary and whatnot. But yeah, it seems like the notable movie that's coming out this weekend is Here, which very interesting concept. Robert Zemeckis is going like, all right, imagine a movie that you only have one camera angle and you see the entire movie, this whole life. And even I think it's like actually takes place with like, I think it goes all the way to the past, and then you see like the house being built and everything according to the trailer. But that's all you see. That is all you see is one camera angle and all the events happening there. And sadly, it doesn't seem, at least when it comes to the critics. Whoop. Oh, come on. Jesus. Sadly, it doesn't seem like the critics really like the concept because it's at a 37%, only 38 reviews. While it's heartening to see director Robert Zemeckis return to humanistic storytelling, Here's stagey conceit and overabundance of spectacle robs it of an emotional resonance. So a lot of not so great reviews when it comes to Here. What little the film has to say about life can be summarized by a series of tacky fringe magnets, and maybe if Zemeckis was aiming to show us that the world is and always has been monotonous and empty, then he has perhaps succeeded. The movie lunges for your tear ducts and your heartstrings. The narrative hopscotch won't cooperate, and it's not really what Maguire had in mind at all. You got a couple of good ones right here. High concept, yet relatable, manipulative, and deeply moving. Here will drive you mad and bring you to tears. Heartfelt and marvelously composed. Here offers a unique and memorable viewing experience. This is a film Norman Rockwell would have loved. So, yeah, not going to read a lot of them, but, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm seeing right here when it comes to new movies this week. Not too much. That's like the biggest one. I'm going to go see it tomorrow. You got Emilia Perez. I don't know if that's coming out this weekend. I know that was limited. That's got quite a cast. That's got an 84%. You got Honora, which has been out, limited release and all that stuff. Juror number 2. That's like getting a very limited release, and it's going to go right to streaming. Apparently, Warner Brothers just... Yeah, really? You're going to take a Clint Eastwood movie and you're just going to not give it a full release? Good on you, Warner Brothers. Good job. Good job. That's at a 96% right now, so. Yeah, but I'm curious to see what here is like. I'm curious. The concept grabbed me. So, I'm going to go see this. Hey, we got Mama Film Junkie here. Got the game on. Oh, it's a tight one. It's a tight one, but I'm hoping for the Yankees to win because I want it to go back to L.A., and I want a Game 6. But the Dodgers are fighting. And now we got Quentin Tarantino. Oh, Quentin Tarantino. Oh, I love it when Quentin Tarantino talks about a movie. And I love it when he talks about a movie that a lot of people hated. And that movie is, of course, Joker Folie à Deux. Folie à Deux. That's right. Joker Folie à Deux. And he saw it, and he had some choice words to say when it came to how he felt about the movie. And to be honest, it just makes me appreciate the movie a little bit more, and it makes me just, I don't know, to see even people's reactions to what Quentin Tarantino had to say right here. And I'm just like, okay, so he understood it on a different level. And I even had conversations with people in group chats about this whole kind of like take that Quentin Tarantino has when it comes to Joker 2. So here's the article right here. Quentin Tarantino praises Joker 2 and says Joaquin Phoenix gives one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. It's a fuck you to comic book geeks and Hollywood. Ho! That's right. I really, really liked it. Really. A lot. Like, tremendously. And I went to see it expecting to be impressed by the filmmaking. But I thought it was going to be an arm's length intellectual exercise that ultimately I wouldn't think worked like a movie. I'm trying to do kind of like a Quentin Tarantino impression, but not really. But that I would appreciate it for what it is. And I'm not just nihilistic enough to kind of enjoy a movie that doesn't quite work as a movie, or that's like a big giant mess to some degree. And I didn't find it an intellectual exercise. I really got caught up into it. I really liked the musical sequences. I got really caught up. I thought the more banal the songs were, the better they were. I find myself listening to the lyrics I find myself listening to the lyrics of For Once in My Life in a way I never have before. Tarantino said that he saw a bit of Natural Born Killers, of course, when it came to this whole thing. And then continuing, as much as the first one was obviously an inept to Taxi Driver, there seems to be a pretty fucking inept to Natural Born Killers, which I wrote. That's the Natural Born Killers I would have dreamed of seeing. As the guy who created Mickey and Mallory, I loved what they did with it. Tarantino said. I loved the direction he took. I mean, the whole movie was a fever dream of Mickey Knox. On top of all that, I thought it was really funny. He thought it was really funny. Yeah, I actually found it a little bit more humorous than a lot of people did too. He saw the movie in an almost empty IMAX theater and therefore laughed without bothering everybody. I know I'm laughing at scenes that other people wouldn't be laughing at. Tarantino had particular praise for Phoenix, whose performance as the Joker, and of course, won him an Academy Award, and blah, blah, blah. And said it was one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life in this movie. Referring to Folie à Deux, and he also commended director Todd Phillips for being a Joker himself. The Joker directed the movie. The entire concept, even him spending the studio's money, he's spending it like the Joker would spend it. All right? All right? And then his big surprise gift, the Jack in the Box. When he offers you his hand for a handshake and you get a buzzer with 10,000 volts shooting you. Is a comic book geeks. He's saying fuck you to all of them. He's saying fuck you to the movie audience. He's saying fuck you to Hollywood. He's saying fuck you to anybody who owns any stock at DC and Warner Brothers. And Todd Phillips is the Joker. Unfilm day Joker, all right, is what it is. He is the Joker. He gets it. He gets it a little bit because I think that some people actually, I had conversations with people where people were going like, yeah, Todd Phillips, yeah, he kind of is the Joker. He kind of was like, all right, you guys didn't want to, Warner Brothers didn't want to give me a significant budget. They gave me the bare minimum budget for the first one. And what happened? I made them a $1 billion R-rated movie that won all kinds of Academy Awards. So naturally, they're like, here, you have all the money you can take for a sequel. Didn't want to do a sequel, but they forced my hand. So I said, fuck it. Joaquin had a fucking dream about a musical. And then I decided to run with that and got Lady Gaga in it. And here it is right here. I like what Quentin Tarantino has to say right here. To be honest, I like it. I like it. Makes me appreciate it a little bit more. Just saying. I just want to... Is there video of this freaking interview? I want to hear him say all this. I want to hear him say all this because, you know, Tarantino has that unique cadence to his voice. So, yeah. This is on Bret Easton Ellis' podcast. You can actually listen to it. But I just, you know, I didn't pull that up. I just wish there was actual video. I think it's just a full-on podcast. Let's see. Yeah, it's on Patreon, though. Yeah, it's on Patreon, so you have to pay, of course. So, it's all good. It's all good. But, yeah, I think what Tarantino said right there, I'm like, yeah, he gets it. He gets it. And then, of course, you know, seeing the reaction from people, they're like, what the hell's Tarantino said? And then, of course, they talked about how he saw it in Tel Aviv, you know. He was in Israel when he saw it. So then, of course, naturally, because people think they have, you know, people over here think they have a dog in the fight when it comes to that whole war that's happening over there in the Middle East. They always think like, you know, they chose a side. So now it's like, oh yeah, Tarantino's a Zionist. He's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. He's, you know, they do that whole thing because they think they're smart. And I'm just like, I don't care where he saw it. I don't care what his politics are or what he thinks about this. I'm just like, you know what? He's one of my favorite directors. I disagree with him on certain things. I agree with him here because I myself enjoyed Joker Folie à Deux. Anyways. All right. He said Psycho 2 is better than the original. Interesting. That's an interesting take. Caleb, thank you for saying that. That's interesting. Okay. I didn't know he said that. I remember seeing the second one with Mila Kunis, and I was like, nah, definitely wasn't for me. But like I said, I don't have to agree with everything he fucking says. Think I have to agree with that? No, I don't have to agree with that. Looks like I have something in my hair. Anyways, I'll get it later. All right, so let's go to Twitter questions, and then, of course, we'll do a members-only stream after this, and you guys can pick my brain a little bit before we do DC Fanimated. Eric, hey, Dave, one thing to keep in mind about which of the cast would come back. If it's animated, it'd only require a few days. It only requires a few days to record lines. Plus, very rarely does an animated cast record everything together. So pretty sure any of them would find the time for Zach. Yeah, exactly. That's why, it makes it a whole lot easier. And if they don't come back, hey, guess what? You can always have a voice actor that can totally sound like that person. That's what makes it easier. I just want to see the goddamn part 2 and part 3. But, live action or nothing. It's not what we want. We want this. We want this. Yeah. Cooper Knox. Despite many issues with The Flash, I very much enjoyed Sasha's take on Supergirl, so my heart hurts for her. Yeah, I enjoyed it too, but yeah, it just wasn't in the cards for what was going to be rebooted, I guess you could say. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question 1. Do you see Batman in the DCU appearing before Brave and the Bold, like post-credit scene? Would be kind of cool, but I mean, yeah, I don't really, maybe he could. Yeah, in one of the projects. Question 2. Do you think, aside from Gunn and Safran's reasons as to why Sasha Calle was let go from her role of Supergirl, she should have stayed for the DCU due to her performance like what we're gonna get in Woman of Tomorrow and redeem how little she did in The Flash? I mean, I think it's just, they probably took it as the approach of, well, this is not going to be any of those little universes. We're going to do our own universe, and we're going to adapt this book right here, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and we just feel that we need, and maybe they were just like, you know what? People want the blonde hair, blue eye, and the skirt and everything like that, and it just seems like they were like, we're going to deliver that. I don't know. That's just, in my opinion. It's like, yeah, they could have used her if they wanted to, maybe, but I don't know. Devin Wooter. Hi, Dave. Are you surprised that Marvel is putting so much contacts on for 2025? Do you think that it's too much? What's the name of the show you're looking forward to see next year? When it comes to that, I'm looking forward to Daredevil, of course. And what day we going to see James Gunn Superman trailer? Like I said, I think it's going to be CCXP. CCXP seems like the place to do it. I don't know. But, guess we'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for tonight's show. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate you guys being with me. Sorry if I got a little too distracted when it came to the World Series game, of course. But it happens. Not the first time I've done that, but make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, thumbs up before you leave. Like I said, if you're a member or want to become a member, we'll do a members-only stream after this, and you guys can pick my brain a little bit, be a little bit more personal, and support the channel. And, of course, you got all the sock meds, and you've got the Patreon if you want to do that. So, members, I'll see you guys in a little bit. It'll show up on your feed. And everybody else, I'll see you guys on Friday. Look forward to my first reaction to Here tomorrow, because I do plan on seeing that. All right, guys. Talk to you later.